Let's do it, everybody. Let's get local. Welcome back in on another Saturday. Thanks for listening on a Saturday as well. We appreciate it. Great lineup here, of course, throughout the week on Devil Radio 92.7. But we're really excited to have the Saturday lineup of local programming. Again, Pizza Box Mike will be up after this hour. But this particular show, Let's Get Local, is all about our local businesses, local nonprofits, local organizations, what some of the places and people around town that make this area unique and special. And it's about connecting you, the community, with some of them and those resources. So today we got a packed full show with a lot of guests. But first off, we got to say hi to Jimmy K. Jimmy, how you doing?
How you doing this morning? Good morning.
So Jimmy, we were here last week and talked about how cold it was. It's still cold.
Still cold and it's snowing.
And going to be cold for a number of more days. So
it's February.
I get it, but man, this is like a 14-day stretch of 0 or below 0.
It is starting to wear on me a little bit.
There's some winter rage happening, I've heard.
I don't know if I told you this last week. I made camping reservations, and this is the one thing that's my light at the end of the tunnel.
We need stuff to look forward to, especially during this stretch of cold weather. And we're going to talk to Adam Wisey of Project Home to talk about cold weather in just a second. So we're going to bring Adam on the program. But yeah, as I mentioned, it's kind of crazy. There's other big news, of course. Exciting news Jimmy and I were just talking about was J.J. Watt. Potentially, he's a free agent now. We're crossing our fingers that the Packers can find a way to pull it off. That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Yeah. Come home, JJ. It's about being local, buddy. Come back home to Wisconsin.
Come home and sack the Bears quarterbacks.
We would love that. Absolutely. All right. It's cold outside. It's frightful, but we have a great guest here, first off, to talk to you about a local nonprofit that does a lot of great stuff, but also how you can make your home more comfortable this time of year, some of the challenges we're experiencing, and what's normal, what's not normal. So we're going to lean on Adam Wisey, the field supervisor over at Project Home, also a great friend of mine since I was 5 years old. Good to know Adam, and good to have you on the program, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, Jason.
All right, Adam. So it's cold. We just talked about that. Before we get into that a little bit too much, you've worked for Project Home a long time. Give us a quick overview of the organization and some of the operations.
Yeah, thanks. Project Home is a local nonprofit, private nonprofit here in Madison, Wisconsin. And we administer a number of county and state and local home repair programs, including the big one that we administer is the State of Wisconsin Weatherization Program for Dane County and Greene County. Through that program, we perform insulation and air sealing work on homes, improve heating systems, electrical upgrades, that sort of thing, to make homes more energy efficient, obviously warmer, more comfortable, correct health and safety issues, and improve indoor air quality.
That's something I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about right now. How do they make their homes more comfortable this time of year? So with these cold weather challenges we have going on, what are some of the biggest things, in a house and in buildings right now that are difficult?
Well, I would say the number one call that we're getting lately has to be ice dams. That's definitely a big one. As you drive around town, see a lot of icicles hanging off people's houses. That's definitely a challenge that people are having. Primarily, that's caused by air leakage from the home into the attic space, and secondarily lack of insulation. But air leakage is the big one that lets warm air into your attic, melts the snow on your roof, that runs down the roof to the eaves where it's much colder, that refreezes and creates a ridge of ice. And then as that snow keeps melting and hitting that ridge of ice or ice dam, that water can potentially back up, push underneath the shingles, and enter your attic and possibly your home. So that can be very, very damaging to a home. Not to mention all that weight of the ice can rip gutters off houses and destroy shingles, all sorts of different things.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the way roofs are designed to work, right? The water's supposed to flow down and not come back up, and you get a situation like that, and it can cause water to run in the wrong direction and then cause you all kinds of problems.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other big thing, Adam, right now inside homes, of course, when the air temperature is so different, is moisture. A lot of people see in this time of year, they see ice building up in the corner of their windows or water building up in the corner of their windows. Is that normal?
Well, it is normal to a degree. We do produce a lot of moisture in our houses just from living there through cooking, breathing, showering, all that sort of stuff. Just releases a lot of water vapor into the house. And if your home is newer or has been insulated and air sealed properly, the home tends to retain a little bit of moisture. So you have to have some active management to deal with some of that moisture in your house. Oftentimes people can get by running their bathroom exhaust or their kitchen range hood a little bit more to push some of that moisture outside. Um, it also the condensation on the windows, like you mentioned, is really a function of two things. It's how much moisture is in the air and then the surface temperature where that moisture is hitting. So obviously when it's so cold out, those windows can get very cold, especially down in the corners. The center of the window is usually a little bit warmer and it cools off towards the edges. And the way to deal with that, like I said earlier, maybe run a bathroom exhaust fan to reduce some moisture where you're producing it in the bathroom, or a kitchen range hood. If you're boiling water in the kitchen, run that to get the moisture out of the house right where you're producing it. The other thing that you can do is to try and warm up the surface temperature of that glass. And if you typically keep your shades or blinds closed during the day, it's probably a good idea to open those up, let some warm room air across that surface to dry things out. Maybe even if you have a particularly bad spot, you could set up a fan in a room to blow some room air across like a large window that's frosting up to help kind of try and keep that dry and prevent any damage to the woodwork around your windows.
Yeah, it's so interesting. One other thing I noticed and had read about was the way we kind of set our windows for a lot of housing in our country. A lot of homes in Europe have big sills on the outside, so the window is actually flush with the wall on the inside of the house, and then there's a big ledge on the outside. And we have, of course, interior ledges, and we have windows flush on the outside of most of our homes here, which kind of sets that window in a bit. And so just that airflow off over the wall surface makes it a little more challenging to kind of clear that moisture off too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. Air does not flow at right angles, so you tend to get these air currents within the room that move in sort of a circular fashion where the warm air rises up, starts to cool down, and then drops through the rest of the room. So if your window is inset into the wall, as the air flows back down the wall, it doesn't just jump back into that recessed cavity to warm up the air. It kind of falls across the surface of that recess and really never catches that bottom edge, which is why that's where you start to see that moisture and the frost formation. This is a tougher thing to deal with if you're living in an existing home where the windows have already been placed that way. Obviously, if you're constructing a new home, you can make that conscious decision to set the windows flush with the wall surface. But as it is right now with most existing homes, the windows are recessed into the wall, and you have to kind of deal with it those other ways by maybe blowing air across it, opening those window treatments up to get some room air across that window surface. It's all about keeping that window warm and not hitting the dew point where that water vapor in your house is going to start to condense and cause a problem.
So yeah, I'm not lobbying for anybody to do that. I just thought it was interesting that in Europe they had that process, and they don't have the similar as big of an issue with it, even though there's similar climates over there. But it is just so the message here coming across to the listener is: don't freak out if you got some condensation on your windows. Just let some air get at that every day. Open up those heavy curtains or drapes that you pull at night or whatever, and allow that air to go over there, and things will dry up, and it'll be just fine. You'll manage your moisture, and then run your bath fans like we talked about with Laura Paprocki of MG&E a couple weeks ago, and just kind of do that throughout the wintertime. It's important to kind of manage your moisture inside. Adam, when we look at some of the programs you mentioned from Project Home 2, the weatherization program you talked about, tell us more about that. What is it, and how does it work?
Sure. So in the state of Wisconsin, we are very fortunate to have something called the Public Benefits Fund, where every ratepayer in the utilities pays a certain percentage of their monthly bill towards these programs. And that goes into something called the Home Energy Plus program. And that program is broken into three main prongs. The first of which being energy assistance, which is some bill paying assistance for income eligible households. And then the second prong of that Home Energy Plus program is the weatherization program, which Project Home administers in Dane County and Greene County. And in that program, we can come out and actually address the home itself by fixing up the home and making it more energy efficient to help reduce bills and make it more affordable for folks in the long term. The third prong of that program is a really important one to remember. If you are receiving energy assistance, the third prong of the program is called the Emergency Furnace Program, and that's really important for weeks like this, where these furnaces are under a lot of strain. If you should find yourself in a no heat situation, contact your energy services provider, and they can send out a technician to repair or replace that furnace at no charge to the homeowner through that funding source of the program. But again, through weatherization, that is the actual going out, fixing up people's homes to make them more energy efficient. So, it lessens the strain on the pocketbook month to month and allows people to stay current on their utility bills.
Talking with Adam Wisey, the field supervisor over at Project Home. You can find out a whole bunch more about the weatherization program and other activities at projecthomewi.org, projecthomewi.org. Adam, I know there's also energy testing services for the general public as well. If people are interested in making those kind of things, upgrades to their homes, they can get energy assessments. People are certified for that. And then also we can do those improvements for people as well if they're interested in making those investments in their homes who don't qualify for some of the income eligible based programs. So that's a great thing. There's also a new activity coming up next week where we have a live Q&A with MG&E, and you're going to be one of the people here, Adam, that's an energy expert, fielding some questions next week. So how are you feeling about that? Are you prepared?
I'm feeling good about that. Yeah, we field questions every day from people calling into our office, and we do a lot of site assessments and visits with homeowners, and of course they have a lot of questions. So, we welcome people to call in, and we'd be happy to address their concerns and answer questions for them.
Adam, we appreciate your time. Appreciate you doing that here coming up. That is Wednesday from noon to 1. It's going to be live on YouTube. Go to projecthomewi.org and find out more about that. Adam, thanks for your time today. Stay warm, buddy.
You too, Jason. Thank you.
All right, that's Adam Wisey, the field supervisor from Project Home. Again, more at projecthomewi.org. And please send your questions in. You can email questions in early, or you can join us February 17th, Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. Be back on the other side of the break.
Good thing I brought my horns.
Back here on Let's Get Local, Jason Hickman, your host, as we only have great promos here, Jimmy, on Devil Radio 92.7. Some of the best stuff.
They're entertaining, that's for sure, right?
It's fun and it's great. Again, Devil Radio 92.7 FM, our home for Let's Get Local, 1580 AM. Really grateful to be here, and also grateful to our sponsors, Madison Water Utility. Again, they have a $100 toilet rebate program for water utility customers of the Madison Water Utility. You change your toilet from your old toilet to an EPA certified WaterSense toilet, and you get $100 bill credit, just like that. And you save water at the same time and reduce your bill. So what about that? And then, of course, Evolution Financial, SUPEC over there, one of our great sponsors for Let's Get Local as well. And, of course, Devil Radio. Now we're going to talk to Colin Murray and get some updates from the source. Colin, good morning, and thanks for being on the program again.
Good morning, Jason. Thanks for having me. You're all decked out with Packer gear still, I see.
Well, it's exciting news. We all got really hopeful yesterday when J.J. Watt announced that he was released. And so we're trying to do everything we can in our power to bring him back to Wisconsin.
Well, there you go. You got the vibes going. That's good.
That's what we're going for. So, Colin, there's so many interesting things happening right now. We talked about, so many things over the last few weeks, but something that I think needs to be revisited is what locally the county has done and tried to do during this time, during the pandemic, to try to help businesses and organizations locally survive and make it through, because we see the light at the end of the tunnel now. We just got to get to that finish line. So let's kind of talk about what's happened. And then we're going to talk about what's happening currently. So again, just to remind people, that initial grant program last year grew from what was initially an $800,000 program.
Right.
$10.8 million that was distributed.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, the county, Dane County, and Joe Parisi in particular, reached out to me and were concerned about local businesses. And this is now coming up on a year almost when they reached out to me. And the county identified 3 areas that they wanted to focus in on their attention as far as support during the pandemic, that being housing, food shortages in the area, and small businesses. So that's where we come in, is with the small business program. And that's why they put together the grant program with $10.8 million. That's just crazy. You know, when they first said that to me, I honestly, I thought they made a mistake. I thought they meant $1 million, not $10 million.
And those are grants. Those are grants too, again, right? So it's not a loan. It's not anything. It wasn't a difficult, lengthy process people had to apply. It was a simple application, and you had an opportunity to have that application reviewed. And then if you fit the criteria, you were eligible for a grant.
Exactly. Yeah. Over 90% of those who applied were approved for a grant, as long as it came in before the deadline. We did have some people that tried to apply afterwards, and we were out of money then at that point, so we weren't able to help those folks out. But over 90% of those that applied did receive a grant fund from Dane County through our program.
Yeah, I think it's so amazing that it originally started out with just that 800,000, went to 10.8 million, and there was still more people that needed assistance and were looking for assistance. So again, that's kind of the challenge, right? There's more mouths to feed than you even have the dollars for, and that I'm sure was a difficult thing to deal with for the organization and for the county.
Yeah, you know, one of the questions that we ask in the application is, what are your needs? So, and it's not so much because we're going to be able to fill those needs. We're not. Our program is really just a Band-Aid, just to help get you going for another few months. But the reason we asked the question is we wanted to know what the needs were out there, so I could take that information back to the county. So on the round one applications, between April and the middle of June, which was the deadline for that first round, we had $74 million worth of requests that came in on those applications. And that was only through June. So since then, that number's doubled, if not tripled.
Wow. I mean, that's just a lot. And now there's a current second grant cycle, which are you still accepting applications, or has that deadline passed?
Yeah, so the deadline is Monday. So if you haven't heard about it or been putting it off, now's the time to do it. You've got till Monday at midnight to fill out that form and get it submitted to us.
So this second grant cycle is a lower amount of dollars to work with, and so there's some priorities right now. What are some of the priorities for this round?
Yeah, so this time we only received $4 million. So, and these were leftover CARES Act dollars that were allocated for a different fund, and they didn't need it, so they sent it our way. So we have $4 million. So the county has identified 4 areas that they want us to concentrate on. So that's retail, restaurants, gym and fitness type facilities, and then event facilities. So, and you'd be surprised how many event facilities there are around there. So like places that you would go for a wedding or, you know, some smaller venue in the county. When I looked the other day, there were about 50 applications just for event venues. And that's not counting the big guys in town at all. These are all smaller venues that we're applying. So those are the 4 areas that they want us to concentrate on. And then they want us to combine that with demographics and underserved communities. So we're focusing on that as well. And those are all identified in the application process. So it doesn't mean that someone wouldn't get a grant if they don't fit that criteria, and we don't want to discourage people from applying, but those are the areas that are being concentrated on, focused on, will be given priority in allocating those funds for that grant program.
And I know we're all hopeful too that with what's happening at the federal level, there's going to be more dollars coming our way that will be here soon that can provide assistance to more broad reach as well moving forward. Colin, we got just under 2 minutes left. And so I want to put this to you, though. I just want people to understand there is a clear process, and every application, you're reviewing every application, right? So people need to understand that this is a process that you guys are going through very, very meticulously.
Right, right. There's a committee that's put together. They're reviewing all of the applications. When I looked yesterday, there were over 2,800 applications. I think I can write about 400 checks. So unfortunately, in this round, I'm not going to be able to spread the wealth like we could last time. So just be aware of that. But don't get discouraged. It does look like another round of dollars will be coming our way. I don't know the amount at this point until those issues get settled in Washington, D.C. But the Biden program out there that they're working on is making its way through Congress, and it's looking very favorable at this point.
And we know we got good people in there helping it out, along with Mark Pocan and Tammy Baldwin, too, to make sure that our places here are taken care of. Colin, thanks so much for all the updates. You also have a lunch and learn on Wednesday the 17th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. More about that and other things on DaneByLocal.com. Colin, best to you. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good weekend.
All right, you're listening to Devil Radio 92.7. We'll be back in just a minute.
Thanks.
This is Dom from the Devil's Advocates. Cody and I have been doing this show for almost 10 years, and we've never had a more engaged, dialed in, and motivated audience, and we love them for it. Now is the time for you to reach the greatest audience ever. Call now and advertise with the Devil's Advocates and Devil Radio, 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM. Get your message out and let the greatest radio audience know how to support your business. Call Luke at 608-819-TALK. That's 608-819-8255.
Stream the Devils and progressive news and talk 24/7 at the Devil's Advocates Radio Network, Wisconsin. That's
Jeffrey, are you with us?
I am here.
Hey, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent. Your levels look good.
Thank you.
How you doing, Jeffrey?
Your levels look good. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm good.
Officials and people from the streets. This is our neighborhood, and our voices will be heard. Join the conversation Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Herbal Aspect proudly sponsors Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Supplying your political fix on the back roads from Sauk City to Beaver Dam on WTTN 1580 AM Devil Radio.
Welcome back to Let's Get Local here on a Saturday morning, chilly Saturday morning, as we approach the noon hour here in just a little bit. Thanks so much for listening to Devil Radio 92.7 or 1580 AM, again, streamed online as well. And don't forget, all of these Saturday programs are replayed tomorrow. So if you loved listening to them today and you want to listen again tomorrow, great. Or if you know somebody who missed them today and want to tell them, hey, those are on tomorrow, that's where you can find them. We would love that as well. So thanks so much for listening. Thanks to our sponsors, Madison Water Utility, and of course, Evolution Financial as well. Two great sponsors of Let's Get Local and Devil Radio 92.7. So our next guest, I'm really excited to talk about. We were talking with Colin a little bit just before about what's happening in the event industry and how they are some of the groups right now that people are trying to get some assistance to because they've been hit really hard. However, there are some bright spots. We're going to talk to Jeffrey Sandler of Celebrations Entertainment, who's always a positive guy and brings the positivity. Tell us about his business and then what he sees moving forward. Jeffrey, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. Thank you, Jason. Nice to see you, hear you, see you both.
It's always good, Jeffrey, to talk with you and see you as well. Now, before we get to the business of the business, how about JJ Watt? Can we get him back to Wisconsin?
Oh my God, we have to get him to the Packers. That would just be the most ultimate ever. Absolutely. Yep. That would be incredible.
All right. Jeffrey's sending out good vibes too to make that happen. So we're all Jeffrey, you have such an amazing business that's certainly transformed over the last year for sure. But tell us a little bit about Celebrations Entertainment.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Yeah, so my company is an event entertainment and event production company. Pre-COVID, we did live events, right? The virtual event wasn't even pretty much in our vocabulary at all. So weddings and dances and corporate events and fundraising events. We do a ton of fundraising events as an MC and auctioneer. I help raise a lot of money for some nonprofits. We do outside movie nights. We did casino nights. Well, we will do again all of these again, I'm sure, but a casino night, entertainment experience, like all of those things. So that's kind of my business.
And when 2020 hit and the pandemic hit, you did what?
Well, since 99% of our business is based on people gathering in public places, our business came to a screeching halt. And, I went into entrepreneur mode, right? I went into, okay, this is happening, but how can I make this turn this and pivot and make this into a positive so I can keep on feeding not only my family, but my staff, right? Because my staff is my other family. So I had families to feed. I had, revenue that I still needed to bring in. So, hit the pavement just like I did when I first started my business over 30 years ago, just hitting, just pounding the pavement and reaching out to the connections that I've built over the past few decades and just turning and learning, right? We learned how to transition and pivot to a virtual world. And then came the convincing our clients to be able to, let them know that they can still live in a virtual world and have some events in a virtual setting.
And another fun thing you did, Jeffrey, you created a studio. A studio,
Yeah.
right, to really dress it up because you do things with some style. I know that about you.
Thank you. Yeah, we turned about a quarter of our warehouse space into basically a streaming virtual studio. We set up all the lights that we normally bring to events to kind of perfectly light the space. We set up the podiums that we own and the high-end HD digital cameras and really kind of set up a production area and a place where people can host their virtual event right from our studio if they want to.
So right now, in the last year or so, what kind of things can people work with you on? What have they done? What's gone great?
Yeah, we've done incredible events. We've done, from a fireside chat that United Way did with us, having two separate areas to, socially distance the people that were there in the studio, to being the MC and auctioneer to an event. Tonight, I'm emceeing an event that is actually happening in Austin, Texas. We're doing the production and I'm the MC for it. And the event is normally in Austin and the nonprofit is in Austin, but they found out about us. And so we're doing it all right here from Madison. So that's going to be a very fun night tonight to be able to raise money for them.
What an interesting way to kind of grow your business too, right? I mean, it's opened some avenues. There were challenges. You worked your way through those, but you're opening avenues as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. It's been interesting. It's been fun. It's been, as an entrepreneur, right? I mean, I hearkened back to, when I first started the business, like I said before, and kind of building relationships and building trust and all of those things really had to happen again, all over again to not only learn how to do these, but then to educate our clients on, how this journey can really help them. So yeah, very fun stuff.
I was participating in a couple of conferences recently as well. That were, virtual conferences. And, so now that we've been exposed to this, and a lot of people are excited to get back to in-person things, and we see the light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully at this point. But still having that virtual option, I think is going to be great moving forward too. Cause then, like you said, you can do things from anywhere and still attend and still be a part of it.
It's incredible, Jason. My vision for the future is all of these conferences, all of these fundraisers, all of, even corporate events that we've done. We have some clients in Madison, like Exact Sciences and Pro Mega, that have employees all over the world, right? Highsight is one of our clients. We did their award ceremony this year that they normally do in Las Vegas, and they fly all of their top salespeople in. We did it right from our virtual studio with the president of the company standing in our virtual studio doing the awards ceremony, and people all over the world were on the call and bringing their video in to accept the award and things like that. It's unbelievable. So yes, for the future, when we go back to live events, there can still be this virtual element that we've learned so much about, and really still be able to incorporate all of those people that are all over the world into the event as a hybrid. kind of feel.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Jeffrey, so there have been some recent public from public health. There's
Yep.
been some recent adjustments, and those are good signs. So now there are 25 people if there's food involved in a space permitted, 50 people if there's not food and drink, right? So
Right.
we're starting to open the doors there. In the event industry, are people feeling that? Are they uplifted by that direction?
Hopefully optimistic are, not only my two favorite words to put together, but I really do feel that in the event industry. I'm part of an advocacy group that has been working with Dane County Health and, kind of local health officials to try and increase not only the amount of people that can attend event, but also to transition the event numbers to an event percentage. Just like restaurants are. So we're working really, really hard. We have a lot of people that are, kind of in this group that are talking to the health officials in Dane County area, trying to get them to understand, that 25 people in the 40,000 square foot convention center at Monona Terrace is just ridiculous. You can really get 800 to 1,000 people in that convention center and still be physically distanced, still be safe, still have a safe event based on a percentage, right? But we're working hard on that. But yes, if they don't switch to the percentage base for events, then yes, the increases are definitely something that we appreciate and that we can start seeing the end of this and start thinking about getting back to events.
I know it's been a long haul and it's obviously difficult, and we know that public health has got a lot to think about when they're making these adjustments, of course. So, there's so much that goes into it, and I think we all hopefully try to understand that. At the same time, if there are certain rules within certain spaces, you would hope that's kind of consistent across the board. And we, by now, a year into this, we know what works. We know about masking. We know about distancing. We know about making sure we're taking care of ourselves and cleaning the spaces and all of that. And I know you guys have taken so many precautions with those things too, for anything you're going to plan to do. I know that's a big focus area for you.
Yeah, it really is, and again, going back to kind of silver linings, knowing that we can produce hybrid events forever and bringing people in my opinion, the silver lining is everything's just going to be cleaner from now on, right? We've developed, practices that are going to continue on after we don't have to wear masks anymore, and after we can be closer than 6 feet together, and all of those practices, and caterers I'm sure are developing and can continue all of these amazing practices. I just think people are going to be more aware of washing their hands and hygiene and just being safe, right? And clean. We've established a new cleaning method. We use a biodome product, which is a local Madison company, to sanitize and lay a protection cover of over all of our equipment to keep all of our clients and our customers healthy. And so, yeah, it's good stuff.
Jeffrey, I know that was so important for you guys to do that, and you've looked into everything you do to make sure you can do everything safely. So thanks for all your great work. That's Jeffrey Sandler from over at Celebrations Entertainment. Find out a whole bunch more about them at celebrationsentertainment.com. Whether you're in Texas, Wisconsin, wherever, you can hire Jeffrey and his team. They're the best.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. Good to see you.
Have a great day, Jeffrey. Good to talk with you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
We'll be back here on the other side of the break. You're listening to Devil Radio 92.7 FM.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning.
Hello.
Hey, Jarena.
Hey, Jason. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
To listen to Devil Radio 92.7 FM, I believe they have the moral fiber to create a progressive movement in Wisconsin and indeed in America.
Back here on Let's Get Local, the final segment of our Saturday show here in the 13th, day before Valentine's Day. If you weren't aware, hey, you still need that last second gift. I got an idea for you, or a couple ideas. Jimmy, how you doing over there? It's all taken care of?
Yeah. What's interesting about Valentine's Day is actually our dating anniversary, my wife and I. So,
Okay.
so 24 years as of tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome. That's commitment. That's love.
Commitment. Yes.
That's good. And an easy reminder for you, which is helpful too, right?
Right. Exactly.
Well, an idea about Valentine's Day, if you're still looking for one, and some other great stuff, we're going to bring in our next guest here, which is Jarena Vincent from J&J Craftworks over in Verona. Jarena has a great gift store over there. It's very unique. A bunch of Wisconsin specialty stuff you can't find anyplace else because it's made by local people. So, Jarena, good morning, and thanks for coming on the show with us.
Good morning, Jason, and thank you for having me today. Yeah.
How are you this morning? How are things going?
I'm good. It's little snowy here, so yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So first off, tell us a little bit about J&J Craftworks, where it's located, and what you have there, because I know there's a lot of different great gift ideas.
J&J Craftworks is located in Verona, right behind Monk's Bar and Grill, and it's we are stepping into our 5th year this year, and we have primarily gifts and home decor, and which is mostly made by senior citizens around the town, and that's what we are very proud of it. So we have gifts for everybody from baby till like a retirement person. So
some great signs there, different unique
Yes.
wood creations as well that are just fantastic. You guys have so many great things there. And the one thing when I first talked to you about your store that I really loved was you got into the intent and the mission behind it from your perspective. And that was so much about looking at people in the community and giving them a resource to make a little money, but also stay busy, because that was so important to you. Tell us more about that.
Oh, that's very personal to me too. Like because coming from India, and we know our family is back in India and they are alone. So if there is a place for them to gather and make projects, and it will keep them busy. So that's the same concept. I'm not there, so I want to do it here because even people are suffering here. So we want to create a community of people, like where people can gather and make projects, and the money go back to them or back to the community. That's what J&J is all about. Community store, yes.
So I know too that was just such an important thing,
Yes.
because people need they need to stay busy. They need a purpose, right? And even something simple like that, especially as you're getting older, if you have a skill and you can still utilize that skill and keep up on it, it does so much for the person.
Oh, it's very, very mentally. They will be. It helps you with. You don't get depressed. You don't get Alzheimer's. If you're busy and if you there is a value for your life. If you feel like, oh, I am making this. I am needed for this. That I am needed. That is what makes a difference in life. When you retire, like you feel like, oh, I don't have anything to do. No, you have housework, like you have people to talk, you can make projects, you can visit us, you have a lot of things to do. So you can keep yourself busy. So that's a very important thing. So
now I know people can still get to your store for last second Valentine's Day gifts today. You're not open tomorrow, right? But today there's a couple more hours till 2:00.
Yes.
Also, we know coming up before we know it, Easter, and you already have some Easter gifts there, right? What do you have on the Easter front if people are looking?
We are the only religious store. We have small section of religious here. So anybody is looking for baptism, Easter, First Holy Communion gifts, it's a place to come. So we have gathered, we don't have much, but we have a good selection of products here for Easter. Yes.
And so you can find out more about J&J Craftworks at jnjcraftworks.com. We're talking to Jarena Vincent, the owner over at J&J Craftworks in Verona, right on North Edge Trail. You can find her on the north side of town. Man, Jarena, I know gifts, like you said before, it's always the season to give a gift, right? So what kind of gift ideas could people have? What are some of your highest selling items there?
Candles. Now, especially because we are in winter cold, people are buying the bath streamers, which you don't have to shower streamers. It's not a bath bomb. It's like bath bomb. It's a shower streamer. You just put it in your shower and it will help you to clear out your stuffy nose and everything. So that's actually a very hot item now. along with our candles.
And I know you have a youngster who makes specialty lip balms and things like that. Those are selling pretty well, I'm guessing too, right?
Oh, yes, yes. Those are all natural, and which is my daughter who makes all natural lip balms, lip gloss. So which is pretty good. Yes, yeah.
My daughter really loved the one that she purchased as well. So give your daughter a compliment on that as well.
I will.
So, Jarena, before we let you go, one other thing I wanted to ask you about was with your store, people, I know you've done a lot of accommodations during these times. So tell us again the ways that people can come in and shop, still wearing masks, I'm guessing, but you are trying to be accommodating with your customers too, right? Tell us.
Yes. Yes. So we are open 10 to 2 Monday to Saturday, and you can shop online at www.jnjcraftworks.com. And when you shop, if you're local, just put local pickup and you can come and pick up right here. Or if you're in Verona, I can even come and drop at your doorstep. Or even if in Madison, just email me, message me. The website won't allow you, but you message me, I will do that. And we ship all over US. So curbside pickup is available. So we are here to serve you. So give us a chance and think about us for your gifting needs.
That's Jarena Vincent from J&J Craftworks over in Verona. Again, jnjcraftworks.com. You can purchase from them as well. They'll ship to you. And good Wisconsin-based items, like I mentioned before, including clothing too. That's,
Yeah.
sweatshirts and all kinds of great stuff. So, Jarena, thanks for your great store and your time. Take care and stay well, okay?
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for having me. Take care.
That's Jarena Vincent over at J&J Craftworks. More from them at jnjcraftworks.com. What a great business there. And like I said, I've gotten a number of gifts there here over the last few years, and Jarena is one of the sweetest people and nicest people you ever meet. So please give her and her store a shot if you're looking for gift items, and a wide range of things there too. So getting to some other local announcements as we wrap up the show, we do want to get to a few things, but Jimmy K, I know you got a couple over there on your end. Do you have some local bits to share with us here? Some good stuff going on.
Yeah, there's an event tomorrow that's happening that I'm involved with. It's called Virtual Venue Love Fest. And it was organized by Dana Perry. Basically, there's going to be a live stream concert from 4 different venues: Cafe Coda, the Burr Oak, and a couple other ones that are escaping my mind right now, unfortunately. But there's going to be about 10, 12, 14 different live bands, and you could watch it. The whole idea of the show is to raise money to give to our local music venues.
Wow.
Because they are like kind of what you and Colin were talking about earlier. The local venues are hurting right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have concerts, you can't have big shows with big gatherings of people. So the venue owners here are hurting. People like the Boss Meadery is one of the venues too. So tune in. You can go to audioforthearts.com to watch the live stream. You could also search for Virtual Venue Love Fest on Facebook to get more information. It's going to be a great show, and we'd appreciate your donations.
That's awesome. Give us that again, the title again. Virtual
Venue Love Fest, and the website that will host the stream is audioforthearts.com.
Another great local Dane by Local member, Audio for the Arts, Buzz over there and his team. So great to work with, and if they're doing the show, it's going to be top notch production. You know that.
I get to I have the privilege of hosting the first 3 hours.
Oh,
and
hey.
I'm a radio guy, and I'm really nervous about being in front of a camera. So we'll see how that goes.
If you just smile, Jimmy, and do your normal thing, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
You're going to do a great job. Well, that's fantastic. So Virtual Love Fest tomorrow. Enjoy that. Local music coming your way to raise money. Good stuff all the way around. We do want to thank our sponsors for Let's Get Local today. Again, Madison Water Utility and Evolution Financial. You can find out more about them, of course. Madison Water Utility, look them up, or Evolution Financial. Look up Supak too, one of the best and most unique financial planners around. She is fantastic. I want to remind you of the Dane by Local Monday webinars, some great timely information that comes out every Monday. It's free and open to the public, 10 a.m. You just log on to the Zoom meeting and you're good to go. You can find out that at danebylocal.com. And then, of course, the 2 online events Wednesday, February 17th. We didn't plan them this way. I don't like to compete with Dane by Local, but DBL has their lunch and learn from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., which is on succession planning. So if you're a business owner looking at that, great programming there. And then the live Q&A, Ask a Home Energy Expert, Bring your energy questions about your home for MG&E and Project Home from noon to 1 on February 17th. Find out more about that on projecthome.com. Thanks to Jeffrey Sandler of Celebrations Entertainment for joining us, Jarena Vincent over at J&J Craftworks. We appreciate them. Also, thanks to Jimmy K, the one and only over there, Devil Radio, for having us on. Outside the Pizza Box is up next. Thanks so much for tuning in to Let's Get Local. Stay local, buy local, be local. We'll catch you next week.
Keep me searching and I'm growing old. Keep me searching.